Alright, in this video, I'm going to show you how to maximize your campaigns with a campaign budget optimization, or CBO in short. So this is probably something that you might have heard from other internet marketers, or when you're creating your Facebook advertisements for the first time, you would have definitely come across this campaign budget optimization. Now, the rule of thumb is that when you're just starting out, especially on a low budget like $5 to $10 a day, you probably don't even need to use this at all. So most of the time you would have turned this off. But with that said, when do you start using campaign budget optimization, or CBO in short? When do we start actually doing that? Okay. Now, first of all, you need to understand what CBO actually does. So to put it very simply, campaign budget optimization distributes your budget across all your ad sets, and it's going to funnel to where it gets the most promising results. So for example, if you're running about 5 to 10 different ad sets right now, and what it's going to do is that you're basically trusting Facebook to distribute the daily budget across all the ad sets. All right, so let me just show you a quick example over here. All right, now this is a campaign, a conversions campaign, which is currently turned off. I'm going to turn it on afterwards so we can have a look at it. And as you can see here, that this had spent about $2,100, okay? And historically, there had been quite a number of ad sets that were run, a total of 19 of them. And this is with the CBO currently turned on. But when it started, it wasn't like that, okay? Normally, when you start running a campaign for the very first time, you will want to put an allocated budget to each ad set. So for example, if I were to test all these 19 ad sets, I'd probably put $5 to $10 a day. All right. So let's just say for math simplicity, we're going to put $10 a day. That means 19 ad sets times 10 would have been $190 a day. All right. And we're going to run this for like a few days. And what's going to happen in a few days is that we're going to see that some ad sets will perform and the rest will not. Okay. And after running this for quite some time, I've decided that what constitutes as a good cost per lead will be anything $3 and below. All right. Anything that with a $3 per lead and below for this webinar campaign, I would consider it as good. So at this point, if I were to reactivate this campaign, I'm only going to run ad sets that have a very good cost per lead. So let's just take a look at each of them in particular. Like this one over here, it's been running for quite a while, 3 leads at $6. I'm going to probably turn this off. Okay. I'm going to turn this off. And if you want to select multiple ad sets that you want to edit, what you can do is you can make use of the checkbox here. I'm going to select anything that is above $3, okay? Anything above $3, which is, yeah, about this one. And I'm going to click on edit and turn off. There we go. Bear in mind that what you're seeing here right now is a campaign that has ran for quite some time. We spent about $2,000 over here. And again, whether you want to spend this much or not is totally up to you. Everyone's got their own preferences. But what I want to do right now, I'm using this as an example where I'm going to start running ad sets that has been proven to have a $3 per lead and below. So I'm going to select everything that's $3 and below, okay, which is about this. Okay, all right. Okay, I'll still consider this. Okay, this is like $3.07. Okay, you know what? I might still consider this. It's only like overshot a little. That's okay. All right. And there we go. So we've got quite some ad sets that had performed $3 and below. Okay, and I'm gonna put them to turn on. All right. Now, depending on how many ad sets that you're editing at a time, this might take several seconds. So we're just gonna leave it at that. And there we go. All right. So what's going to happen now is that I'm taking all the winning ad sets right now, and I'm going to restart this campaign again. So we have a total of, how many ads do we have here? Okay. We have about 12 selected. So if you want to see how many we have selected, you can just take a look at the top here. We have 12 ad sets that are selected. And the next question that you might ask is, how much budget should I set aside for this CBO campaign? So typically for every one ad set, I put at least $5 or $10 for that matter. It's totally up to you, but I wouldn't recommend anything below $5 US. So let's just say I'm playing on a bare minimum right now. 12 times 5 would be about, I'd say that would be $60 if I'm not mistaken. All right, let me just do a quick math here. So I'm gonna make sure that my math is not bad. Okay, $60. Okay, I'll probably put anywhere from $60 to $120. So let's just say I want to run this at $60, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna restart this campaign by turning this on, and I'm gonna click on edit this campaign, and I'm gonna change this to $60. All right, $60. Because if you put anything really like a small number, like anything below $5 per ad set, what's going to happen is that Facebook is going to struggle to distribute the budget to even the winning ad sets. All right, so this is why you don't want to put anything too low. And if you're not keen on spending even this amount as well, what you want to do is you want to reduce the number of ad sets. Okay, so with that said, I just want to say that for as many ad sets that you're running in a single campaign, I'll allocate $5 to $10 to that. So we have got 12 campaigns, 12 ad sets running right now. So I'll put at least the bare minimum $60. And if I want to run just 10 ad sets, I'll put this at $50 for that matter. Okay, so I hope this part makes sense. And as a closing note, should any beginners ever run CBO for a start, I do not recommend that, because when you're starting out, it is better to test various ad sets, that means various targeting, to see which one performs better. And after quite a while, you will probably have a few winning ad sets like what you're seeing here right now, and we'll start running CBO campaigns only at a second stage. So I hope this helps. What's up? And in this video, I'm going to show you how you can tidy up your account a little bit, because as time goes on, you would have added quite a number of page posts, created a lot of ads, you would have uploaded quite some media like images and videos which you wind up not really using, and as time goes on, you would have cluttered your ad account for sure. So I want to show you two places where you can do a little bit of spring cleaning if you would like to. And let's start off with the media library. So how do we access the media library? Is by going to your business.facebook.com or logging into your business account and hit to the top left menu and scroll down to media library, and we'll end up on a page like this. So by default, you will be able to click on your ad account, which is where we're at right now. This is just an example. And as you can see in this particular account, we have uploaded quite some images and videos, and we're not going to use all of them. So if you want to delete any of this by any chance, we'll click on one of them, for example. And you can see at the bottom right, there is an option to delete image. And that's exactly what we're going to do. But be careful though, because if this image is being used for any advertisement, it is going to definitely ruin your ad. So what's going to happen is that if you delete this advertisement right now, or rather I would say you delete this image, the advertisement that is using this image will still be running, but with another thumbnail, which is probably a default lifted off from that page itself. So you're going to be extra careful with what you're deleting here. All right, but in this case, I'm really going to do just that. So I'm going to click continue, and we're done. Okay, so this is just an example. I'll just click on another one as well. All right, or maybe another one here, and I'm just going to delete this. Okay, now that's not all. The next thing I want to show you is page posts. So how do we access the page posts? Is by going to the top left menu again and click on page post. So it's right somewhere at the bottom of the list here. So it takes a bit of effort to scroll down here. So go on the page post, and you'll see the amount of posts that we have published for, whether it's as content for the FB page, schedule, and especially you want to take notice of the advertisements. All right. Now, whether you realize this or not, every time you make any edits or a copy of advertisements that you already have, it's just going to make clones of it with different IDs. So visually, it might look the same to you, but on the back office, you can see that there's like multiple IDs for a very similar advertisements. And again, if you want to keep things a little bit neat, what you want to do is you want to click on the page post that you would like to delete. Like for example, this is the one, and all right, you can see actions up here. All right, click on delete, and you'll be prompt, this post will be permanently deleted, which again, I just want to remind you to be cautious about it, because if this advertisement is still being ran or it's active, if you delete this, then obviously you won't be able to run it again. So before you delete anything, you just want to be extra careful that the advertisement is no longer being run right now. Okay, so that's just a little tip on how you can tidy up your ad account a little bit so you minimize the amount of clutter that you have. What should you do if or when your ad account gets disabled? So if you're watching this video right now, either A, you had this happen to you, or B, you're just curious to know what will happen to you as you run Facebook ads more and more, and maybe you should be mentally prepared as well. Now, I want you to know that having an ad account that gets shut down, that gets disabled or restricted is part and parcel of running Facebook ads, and no one is exempted from this. You have people that spend a few $100s a month to people that spend hundreds and thousands to even millions of dollars a month, and this kind of thing still does happen. Okay, so should it happen to you, and there's a high likelihood that will as you run Facebook ads more and more, I just want you to be mentally prepared and know that this is just part and parcel of running on one of the most advertised social media platforms in the planet. Okay, and when you do, don't freak out. Okay, you might get an email like this: ad account disabled for policy violation. Now, I'm showing this to you in a form of a screenshot because I don't have an actual account that I can show this to you right now, because either they've already been appealed successfully or they're already in the graveyard somewhere. Okay, so anyways, I want to prepare you on how to get your account back should this happen to you. Now, sometimes you might find that when you're editing your advertisements or randomly a glitch happens and your ad account gets disabled, even though you didn't do anything wrong and you have followed the policy to the letter. All right, or maybe you could be operating in a niche that is non-controversial at all. All right, so don't freak out. What you want to do is that you want to appeal. All right, so you want to appeal, and they will probably give you a link right off the bat. If you find this to be a mistake, give us more information and you'll be able to click on the link and arrive at a simple form like this. All right, is this an account? You're going to put yes and provide information. Now, you don't really have a lot to write here, to be very frank. The word count or the character count is quite limited, but here's the thing: you never want to admit your mistake or be apologetic. Now, I know this might sound strange, it might sound counterintuitive and even douchey for that matter, but I find that a lot of people tend to just say sorry even when they really didn't make a mistake. But what's happening here is that you're putting into writing for the internal team to use it as a reason against you. All right, you've admitted your guilt in writing, and we're going to stand by our final decision to keep your account restricted or disabled. All right, and take it from me, I've done this mistake so many times that I learned it the hard way. Okay, so what you want to do is like never admit your mistake. Instead, you want to word your appeal that you have read the ads policy, and make sure you do, by the way. All right, so you know what you're talking about. You are compliant with all the ads policy, it's compliant whatsoever, and you didn't do anything wrong. So please review and reinstate my account. That should be the way you word your appeal. Okay, now if you didn't do anything wrong and everything should be fine, you will have your account back. So this can take anywhere from a few hours to up to 3 days in my experience. Now, I'm not saying this will happen to everybody. I just find that having this happen to me so many times, this can be from a few hours to 3 days that you can get your account back, and you will get an email that goes something like this. All right, this will be the best email to receive, the best good news. It will be a sigh of relief, and you can continue advertising. But I do advise that in the meantime, if while you're ahead, you might want to open more than one ad account, and if possible, more than one Facebook business account. To what I know, one profile can open a maximum of 2 business accounts. You can do just that. If you have a family member or a spouse or a business partner, among you guys, you can actually open multiple business accounts. And the reason why I recommend that is to spread your risk and diversify it so that you can continue running your advertisements uninterrupted, okay, without any delays whatsoever. Now, with that said, there will still always be a chance that your Facebook business account or ad account will be permanently disabled. And sometimes this could be, well, it could generally be your mistake for not complying by their ads policy. So for example, if you're operating in a sensitive market like weight loss, and you're using choice of words that are sensitive or just doesn't comply with the Facebook ads policy, then they do reserve the right to permanently disable your account. And at this point, you have no choice but to use another new ad account elsewhere with a different identity whatsoever. And just be careful not to repeat the same mistakes again. And this usually comes down to the choice of words, like, losing weight, for example, all right, fat, and things like that. Okay. Now, when it comes to make money, this is another sensitive, controversial market. where people use very blatant words like, make money while you sleep, passive income, autopilot. Now, these are words that you really want to avoid. And let's just say you ever have your ad account disabled for these reasons, you might want to start looking at the choice of words that you're using. Do not use back the same advertisements. Do not use back those kind of words again, all right? So you just live and let learn. Now, I think the reason why I'm going at lengths about this whole matter is because there's been a lot of people that give up on Facebook advertising after seeing some results, and then when this happened to them, they give up or they take too long to recover. Like they might take a few months to try to get another account and things like that. But ideally, you want to be able to continue your operations within the same day with another ad account. But of course, be cautious. Don't repeat the same mistakes of the first ad account that got disabled in the first place. Okay? So I hope this helps, and have fun marketing on Facebook. It's still very profitable, and it's still the best social media platform for advertising on this planet. Okay, this is going to be a very short video and very straight to the point, but at the same time, I know that some people that run Facebook ads might struggle with this on an emotional and psychological level as well. So when you run advertisements, you can almost always expect that you're gonna get spam comments and some really rude comments that's totally unfounded, like this one over here. Now, I just want you to know that this is part and parcel of running Facebook ads, because when you run ads, it's always going to a cold audience, and some of them might just project their insecurities or their negative thoughts onto your post, no matter how well intentioned you are. So the short and very straightforward answer is to just hide, delete, and ban, really. So I don't personally think it's a good idea for you to engage with this kind of comments unless you are considered a witty person or you're going to build quite some goodwill, that I do not know, okay? But the short answer is don't waste your energy on that. I want you to focus on conversions and the end results. So how do we remove comments like this and ban them? It's quite simply by clicking on the command here. We click on hide command, and then we'll click on ban the person, and then finally we just click on delete, and we're done. Simple.